Hey y'all, Tara May here. This time I would like to review one that I got recently, limited from Code Red. This is House on the Edge of the Park. This is by Ruggero Deodato, and it has David Hess in it. And some of you would probably also recognize one of the actresses. She was from Cannibal Ferox or Make Them Die Slowly. And one of the other male leads, I guess he's maybe sort of the lackey or the partner of David Hess's character. He's been in a few of those Italian films as well. Cannibal movies and stuff like that. Usually rather extreme titles. As you know, David Hess, he's been known for his kind of extreme roles, especially in Last House on the Left, and he is sort of playing a very similar character in this. Him and his friend that I mentioned earlier. Seems like they're working in a garage or something, and they wind up going with these rich people to sort of like a disco private party thing or something. Um, in the very beginning of the film, you're kind of hit with a rather graphic rape scene. It takes place in a car. David Hess kind of jumps in the back seat with this girl, kind of, gets her run off the road, or it's maybe slightly unclear to me. I think maybe she has car trouble. Anyway, he winds up raping her, and like I said, it's really rather graphic. You get full frontal nudity in that scene, and he does wind up killing her. So you see that he is a very violent person. So when these people invite him, the sort of games begin. But the games they're playing are not just card games. So there's a lot of humiliation, manipulation. There is some torture, mutilation. There is a lot of stuff going on in this movie. This movie is maybe not strictly horror. It is maybe more tense thriller, but it is definitely in that genre, and there's a lot going on. There's a lot of nudity, sexual exploitation, and whatnot. Um, there is definitely a lot of kind of almost hyper violence, as you would, and very, very provocative things. You can see that even these rich people sort of enjoy playing their manipulative mind games, and they seemed at first to kind of be toying with the one guy who seems maybe not as clever and smart as David Hess's character. Uh, it's one of those kind of films where you're just kind of waiting to see how far it's going to go. It is rather on the extreme side. Now, Ruggero Deodato, he does a lot of movies that I like. Of course, he's the one that did Cannibal Holocaust. He did Cut and Run, and he did, I believe, Jungle Holocaust, and a few other things. So you know that he has a tendency to go towards the more violent end of things. And this movie doesn't disappoint on that aspect whatsoever. I rather like this one. I know it's maybe uncomfortable for some females to probably sit through and watch some of the things that's going to go on in this movie, but in the end, it's, kind of got a good twist. And it's, you know, bad guys don't typically win in these things, so, you can kind of expect something to happen. Um, but this movie probably will make quite a few people rather uncomfortable because it doesn't pull punches. It really doesn't, and it really exploits the situation. It really exploits females. It really shows how weak they can be and how powerless they can be at times. Even with friends, even in a mass group situation. I mean, we've got two people that pretty much wind up controlling an entire group of people, and there's all sorts of things. I don't think there's a female in it that does not show her breasts, and most of them show full frontal, and you probably get boobs every 5 to 10 minutes, and you get full frontal at least every 20. For those of you that kind of look for that sort of thing in movies. Again, it's an Italian film, and David Hess, he doesn't disappoint in this role. He is every bit as sleazy and cruel as he is in Last House on the Left. Maybe even more so. Just the things that are going on. But I think most people in the end would rather enjoy this. Now, I wouldn't recommend it to everybody just because it is rather extreme, and I think some people can be rather sensitive when it comes to certain subject matter. Me, however, I rather like extreme. I can't help it. So, yeah, that's my recommendation and sort of my review. The Blu-ray transfer is pretty good. My brother has this on DVD, but believe it or not, I first saw this on a multi-pack, one of those 50 movie things. I believe it had Driller Killer, maybe Drive-In Massacre. It had The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave. I mean, it had some Giallo on there and stuff. It had a lot of titles, and oddly enough, this was only listed as brief nudity. That's kind of funny, because you get full frontal, like, really, full frontal, multiple times. So that was rather amusing. and my brother was rather ecstatic. And that was actually my first time having viewed the movie. And then, of course, he had to own it. And I wanted to add it to my collection as well. I really do like extreme, over the top, violent exploitation, stuff like that. And anybody that likes any of that kind of stuff would probably find some enjoyment in this movie. So I hope some of y'all check it out. And if you can't stomach it, sorry. But, I kind of like that sort of thing. So anyway, until next time, you can always, of course, like, subscribe, whatever on here. Recommend things to me. Ask me any questions you want. And follow me on Twitter if you want at Taramay79, TARAMA79. Until next time, bye bye.